Hello from Cleveland. Welcome to Buffalo Plus and the Buffalo Plus YouTube page. Mike Catalano, along with Jenna, the person who predicted who the Bills would take in the first round, Gregory Rousseau. What do you think of him?
I think he's an athlete. He's 6'7", he has the size, he has the speed. I get the intangibles that made Brandon Beane want to pick him. He had 15 and a half sacks in 2019. He opted out of last year, but I think when you look at it, he has a lot of raw ability. He seems like a kid that wants to learn, wants to grow. He's been working with Calais Campbell, a very talented guy,
Yeah.
Pro Bowl type of player who he believes in, and I think it says a lot about the player that the Bills are getting.
Yeah, I think you can look at him as a bit of a project, right? Because of his size, not playing last year. Yeah. The other thing you can look at, Jenna, is when the Bills got on the clock, they used the entire 15 minutes.
They did.
I think Brandon Beane was looking to make a deal to move back.
I agree. It's especially when we're at 30 now. You saw how the board was falling. The fact that he did take up all that time. I think he wanted to kind of see what he could get. I mean, there were plenty of players still left on the board, and I think that was some considerations being put in. But again, went with Gregory Rousseau out of Miami. But yeah, Brandon Beane really taking his time with that.
Yeah, players that they would have liked, right, got taken earlier, including a lot of thought on Travis Etienne, the running back.
Yes, yeah.
He went earlier, goes to Jacksonville, and obviously Najee Harris goes to the Steelers. And then you have some cornerbacks that go earlier. Greg Newsome, a guy I had talked about, going earlier. So the Bills were left in a spot. And look, if they didn't get what they wanted for an offer to move back, and they obviously like Rousseau, they make the pick. But usually they're a little more of a position of strength. They have several players they like, and they move back. Look, I'm not trying to make too much of it. I just think in that spot, if they didn't get enough, they go with Rousseau. And as he said, maybe a bit of a project, but if you're 6'7" and can rush the passer, I guess that's a pretty good place to start.
And I think one of the first things you heard after he was drafted were the NFL analysts talking about how they need to compete, the Bills do, with the Chiefs. They need to have that pass rush. We saw how effective that was in the Super Bowl. That narrative is going to follow the Bills around, let's be real. Look, we know Mario Addison, Jerry Hughes, they're in their mid-30s. There are guys that are getting older. They need to bring in that young talent. They've put a lot of at stake in that position. And again, once again, they're trying to bolster that and make sure they get after the quarterback. So he's going to be a project, but I really trust the coaching staff and their ability to develop that.
Look at what they've done. 2019, they go for the inside, Ed Oliver. Last year, A.J. Epinesa with their first pick. Now Gregory Rousseau. So now we look ahead to rounds 2 and 3. I still think cornerback is a big need. Maybe safety too. A Syracuse guy could be on their mind. Yeah,
I really like Ifitu Melifonwu out of Syracuse, the cornerback. And in my mock draft, I had them going edge rush first and then doing cornerback next because there was a lot of depth at the position, and I feel like they can kind of cash in on that in the round 2, day 2 type of thing. But yeah, I think they still need to address corner. They've been trying to solve that position opposite of Trey White. I think they have a great opportunity to do that on Friday.
Yeah, in Beane, you trust, right? We can't leave without talking about New England.
Mac Jones.
So they have Mac Jones as the quarterback. Your thoughts?
He's been compared so much to Tom Brady already that I'm annoyed. If I'm being completely honest. I feel bad for Mac Jones because that's a lot of pressure, 6-time Super Bowl champion to put on you. But Patriots didn't have to move up to get him. He fell to them. So I'm curious to see how that will work out considering Cam Newton did not have a great year.
No.
They did a lot in the offseason to build up that team. Mac Jones in New England.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Zach Wilson going to be the starter with the Jets, and Tua just in his second year. So it's a young division, and Josh Allen is the grizzled old vet at 24 years old. Well, thanks for being here on Buffalo Plus and the YouTube page. We'll have continued coverage all weekend long. For Jenna here with me in Cleveland and Dan Fates, I'm Mike Catalana. Thanks for watching. Check us out on Buffalo Plus and the Buffalo Plus YouTube page.
I got the pick right.